So in your autopilot settings, there are some different options for how you want FSD to behave. These are chill, average, and assertive, and they do have very short descriptions on what they're supposed to do. Mostly they'll give you a greater following distance on the chill setting, and you'll do more speed-based lane changes on the assertive setting. But people think that this is actually doing a lot more for the car than what is being explained here. And so today we're going to test that out. I'm going to do the exact same route 3 times in a row, each in chill, average, and assertive setting, and we're going to compare these to each other and see how the car performs. Now, this is FSD 12.3.6, so it's the latest version, at least as of the making of the video. In between each drive, I will put the car in park. I will change the setting, close the menu, reopen the menu to make sure that I do it correctly and that we always have the correct settings engaged. But beyond that, I'm going to let FSD do its thing and compare these different settings and see if there's a setting that's better than the others. Now, this is not the longest route because I want to be able to do all of these back to back right in a row so that conditions are as similar as possible. But there are stoplights, stop signs, unprotected left turns, roundabout. This is just like the perfect little mini route to test all this stuff. So let's get to it. This video is brought to you by Joa, maker of premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your discount by using the link in the description below. All right, here we are. I am talking to you from the assertive drive. So I'm just going to hit start here, and I'll have these all synced up, of course, as best as they can be. They'll all be slightly different, but we will compare everything between these drives. Now, I did the chill drive twice because I didn't hit record on the first one. But all 3 drives I've done so far, so this is my 4th drive, you're only seeing 3 on the screen, have been 0 intervention, which is very cool. Now, I have not driven this version really yet before today, and the first thing I'm noticing, I don't know if it's a fluke or what, but I'm going up to 10 minutes in between steering wheel nags. So yeah, that's awesome, but totally unexpected. And I feel like it's fluke, but it's what I'm experiencing. So Assertive's just going to pretty much ignore that speed bump, whereas the other 2 did slow for that speed bump on the way out last time. And exiting there was the worst on chill by far. So we'll get to 0 here, and I have already today in the chill drive, I think it was the one I recorded, I did get honked at for a complete stop and a stop sign. So this is quite awful. So I wouldn't call that assertive at all. We went to 0, FSD kind of creeped out and stopped and creeped out and stopped and creeped out, and then finally went when nobody was around. So disappointing to see that, but it is the way the car behaves sometimes. And the other versions were giving me similar behavior as well in different scenarios. I will say the takeoffs so far, my comparison is that chill takeoffs are way more chill. And the takeoffs in average were a little more aggressive in a good way. And assertive so far, we need a few more to really think about it, have been a little better as well. And then I want to be clear, if we look at the autopilot settings right here, there is chill, average, assertive. This is what we're doing. If you go into pedals and steering, you have acceleration. This is how your accelerator pedal works. I'm not really talking about that, although I have heard some people say they like to put their car on chill when they're using FSD. Go for it. Give it a try. It's not something I've ever done. I just don't like my car to behave differently. I just always want it to kind of feel the same. If I want to go slower, I just won't push the pedal as hard. So chill was extremely cautious here at this red. It actually waited for it to turn green. And look at that, assertive, as soon as it sees it's clear, it takes that right and quickly accelerates. I mean, that is getting right up to speed. Whoa, you got a flat tire or something? What's going on there? So nicely moving around the construction here. Every version is, or every setting has done that so far. And not moving away from those cones, although this scene has changed every time. The last time I did it, there were a ton of people there working. And now all the people are gone in their trucks. So I don't know if they went to get lunch or what happened there, but it was very busy the last time we went through there. A little easier now. So I will continue to speed up through any parts that are not too exciting. Of course, again, they won't all line up perfectly, but they should line up pretty well. It's not a huge, long drive, but like I said, a lot of different scenarios for us here. So I'm curious if here, yeah, that's the appropriate way to do it, but I thought maybe assertive would pass here. The other 2 versions did not pass anybody, so we'll see if we get some passes here on assertive. Now we had the same setup here with average, and the car just was too hesitant to get in the left turn lane. And like, come on, what is this? Report, just get over there and go. Like, you're just gonna sit right here. So nobody else can get in the left turn lane, and you're just really awkward. Yeah, I don't know why this would happen. Let's see if they move out of our way. Does that give you enough room now to do your thing? Oh, this is just... Come on. This is so awkward. But I'm not in anyone's way, so I'm leaving it. So four-way stop here. All versions have done pretty well with this, although again, let's see this takeoff. Yeah, that feels really good. The average takeoff was way better than the chill takeoff, but it really depends on kind of the traffic that's around, if there's other vehicles. If there's no other vehicles, FSD tends to take off a little harder. If there are other vehicles, FSD tends to be a little more calm. So it's hard for one person with limited time to really suss all this out, but if there are big differences, we should be able to tell. Now, we're not slowing nearly as much for that. Oh, no, we did. Yeah, okay, they all got down to 17. It just seems like FSD waited longer. I got to change this to slow down for that. But then it did get down to the same speed. And I did mess this up on the chill, just so you know. This is where I got honked at. I think because the car started to slow here, and I took over so that I could change the route. And then it made the complete stop at the stop sign, and the guy behind me didn't like complete stops at stop signs. And then on the average drive, FSD actually got confused here because there was a bus to the left picking up students. And so it took it forever to get through here. So let's see, we make our stop, and we go. I don't want to say anything yet, but very nice. That felt great. Yeah, the other two versions did really poorly at that left turn. So this has been slow through here every time, and I don't know if it's because there's traffic shown on the map. No, there's no traffic here. I don't know why there's traffic shown here, but it's on the map data. So I don't know if FSD is cautious because of the cars parked to the right, or it thinks there's supposed to be traffic here or something. But every one, chill, average, and now assertive have been well below the speed limit through that section. Not a complaint, just something I'm noticing. And another really nice takeoff as we go through here. Now this part has had a few pedestrians for us to stop for. All settings have done very well with pedestrians, as we would expect. Now going through here, every time there's been somebody walking kind of towards the road, and both FSD and myself have thought they were going to walk in front of us, and the car slowed like exactly to the point where I thought, oh, okay, they're not going to walk in front of us. It was just crazy how in sync both of us were with that. I was kind of like, oh, I'm glad you're slowing because it does look like they're going to walk in front of us, but I can't tell. And then as soon as they turned or we got close enough to, better be able to tell what they were doing, FSD sped back up, which is just great. All the stop signs have been really good. Of course, we're getting to 0, and the biggest problem is the slowing stops a little too early. So we're beginning to slow. That's not that bad, but a lot. Yeah, here, see how slow we're going? You still got to make the stop sign. You still got to get to 0. Now you're at 0. Now you can take off. So when the takeoff is good, it's not as bad, but a lot of times it just takes forever to get down to 0. And then on top of that, you're stopped way behind the line. Other people aren't sure what to do. Now this left turn, every single time the car's wiggled back and forth here. And this time it confidently got into the left turn lane. Interesting. There's a lot of people that think FSD is kind of learning if you do the same route over and over again. I'm not a huge fan of that thought, but it may be true. For you. So that was an illegal left turn there. We should have been in that left lane. The two humans in front of us did it illegally too, and I know you're probably talking about following the lead car, which yes, FSD does, but even with no lead cars every single time, FSD has illegally made that left turn. Really awkward lane change there, just kind of hanging out in the middle. Now there is construction up here, and every time FSD has gotten over appropriately, but I really want to see if it'll pass some people here and get in this right lane, because we can stay in this right lane. It's the right turn lane that is off limits, but FSD just is not comfortable being near those cones, which I am actually fine with. Little hesitant there with the right turner next to us, and then blam, a huge takeoff, speeding. What's interesting is Chill was also speeding in a 25. It got up to like 34 or something in a 25, which I kind of figured Chill would be a little more chill, but it doesn't seem that it's really affecting that behavior, that setting. then we'll take our second go at the roundabout. See how long it's been since I've been nagged? It's really crazy. So we're going through the roundabout. Blam. Perfectly handled. Roundabouts are so good now. Can't believe version 11 was like 50-50 on roundabouts. Maybe like 40% were good and 60% were bad. And now roundabouts are like 99%, maybe like 95%. It's crazy how good they are. So we have our unprotected left to finish up here. And we'll see where the car plants us. Now on chill at the end here, it did touch the curb, so that's no good. But I let it happen for the video. And we'll see. This coming back, speed bump has been hit or miss here. We got our 15 mile per hour sign. There you go. Well, the last second really hits the brakes, which is better than nothing. But it has missed that speed bump on the way in. And then we'll go to our ending point here, and we'll see where the car parks itself. But overall, 0 intervention 4 times in a row is pretty great, I would say. That was 12, maybe 15 miles of 0 intervention. And I'll throw up the chart for you here too. I did recreate my chart. I haven't had a chance to really do any FSD drives since I recreated the chart, but things are looking very good for version 12. Look at this steering wheel. Gotta be something they can do about that. I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially if there was no steering wheel. You wouldn't know, but yeah, it's parking us in the same spot as last time. Chill parked a little earlier because somebody was in the way, but there you go. Very nice. Lots of 0 intervention drives and nice comparison there. Overall, my thought is that there's not much difference. I don't think these differences are going to change much for you unless you're in busier traffic and you want the car to pass people more. That's when I think you're going to see a bigger difference.